Kate and William suddenly drop everything. What they said has America talking. Hey, welcome back. If you're watching this right now, you already know something is going on with the royal family. And today we're diving deep into a story that has people across America genuinely talking. KateMiddleton and Prince William, two of the most watched, most analyzed, most admired people on the entire planet, were supposed to be on spring break. Quiet time, family time. No cameras, no announcements, no royal duties. Just William, Kate, and their 3 kids somewhere peaceful, away from the noise of palace politics. But then, they stopped everything. They came out of that break, stepped in front of the world, and delivered a message that nobody expected. A message tied directly to one of the most fascinating, most adorable, and honestly most relatable rivalries in the modern royal story. And here's what I want to talk about today. Not just what they said, but why it matters. Why this moment, right now, in April 2026, is actually much bigger than it looks on the surface. Because if you look closely, there's a whole lot more going on than just a cute rugby post. So grab your coffee, settle in, because we're going all the way in on this one. Let me paint you the picture first, because context is everything. Every year, around Easter, William and Kate deliberately step back from public duties to spend time with their 3 children. Prince George, who's 12, Princess Charlotte, 10, and little Prince Louis, who just turned 7. The kids are on school break, and this couple treats that time as genuinely sacred. Now, for Americans watching from across the Atlantic, this might seem normal. Parents take time off for spring break. Big deal, right? But here's what you have to understand about the British royal family. Taking time off is not as simple as it sounds. Every absence is noted. Every missed event is scrutinized. Every quiet weekend becomes a headline. In fact, there have been persistent criticisms, especially from some corners of the British press and royal circles, about William's workload. Some unnamed sources close to senior royals have suggested they wanted to see him do more traditional day-to-day royal engagements. So when William and Kate choose family over duty, even briefly, it's a statement. It's them saying, we are going to be present parents, even if it costs us headlines. The family is known to retreat to Anmer Hall, their country home in Norfolk, where they embrace outdoor activities, muddy walks, and simple family moments. Kate has spoken openly about wanting her children to experience life without the gilded bubble of royal privilege getting in the way. She said it herself on a podcast a few years back, and I'm paraphrasing here, that getting outside, doing simple things, going for walks together, those are the memories that actually matter. That's what she wants George, Charlotte, and Louis to remember about their childhood. That's the environment they were in. That's the headspace they were in. Spring break, family mode, Norfolk countryside, no announcements planned, and then they broke from it. William and Kate interrupted their Easter holidays to deliver a joint public message, and the reason behind it is both charming and, if you read between the lines, deeply revealing about who these 2 people really are. So, what was the message? The Prince and Princess of Wales posted a joint statement on their social media accounts, wishing all players and support staff the best of luck ahead of the Women's Six Nations Championship, an international rugby union competition. Writing, here's to an exciting start to the tournament and some unforgettable rugby. Now, before you say, okay, that's just a sports post, why does that matter? Let me give you the full picture. Because the sports post is just the surface. Underneath it is a story about identity, loyalty, rivalry, and a couple that has built something genuinely unique in the history of the British monarchy. William and Kate hold opposing rugby patronages. Prince William has been patron of the Welsh Rugby Union since 2016, while Princess Kate became patron of England's Rugby Football Union and Rugby Football League in 2022, taking over roles formerly held by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. Let that sink in for a second. The future King of England supports Wales. His wife, the future Queen, supports England. And England and Wales are about to play each other on April 25th. This means William traditionally supports Wales, while Kate supports England, leading to what insiders describe as a dash of healthy rivalry whenever the tournament comes around. This year, with England set to play Wales on April 25th, their home at Forest Lodge will be buzzing with friendly tension. Now, here's what I find genuinely remarkable about this, and this is where my opinion comes in, so stay with me. This is a couple that has been through absolute hell together. Kate's cancer diagnosis in early 2024. The scrutiny, the conspiracy theories, the public speculation about their marriage, the Harry and Meghan drama that never seems to fully go away, the loss of Queen Elizabeth, the weight of knowing they will one day carry the entire British monarchy on their shoulders, and yet they post a joint rugby message, teasing each other about which team is going to win, stepping out of their quiet family break just to show the world that they're still them, still a team, still playful with each other, still human. That's not nothing. That's actually everything. Now here's where I want to get a little personal with you all. Because I know a lot of you watching this are Americans, and I get asked all the time, why do Americans care so much about the British royal family? And honestly, I think the answer is simpler than people want to admit. We care because Kate and William represent something that feels increasingly rare in public life, a couple that actually seems to like each other. A partnership that, despite unimaginable pressure and scrutiny, still has warmth in it, still has laughter in it, still has this. A rugby rivalry that makes them tease each other on social media while their kids are probably running around the Norfolk countryside getting their shoes muddy. But let me also be real with you, because I don't do blind royal worship on this channel. There's another layer to this story that Americans need to understand. Prince William and Kate are known to scale back their royal duties significantly in April, and this decision consistently draws criticism about their workload. Some senior royal insiders have pushed back on this, suggesting William should be doing more traditional royal engagements, the bread-and-butter ceremonies, the investitures, the day-to-day institutional work of the monarchy, and that criticism isn't entirely without merit. These are people funded by the British public. There are real expectations attached to that, real responsibilities. But here's my take, and I want you to think about this for a second. We live in a world where public figures either completely disappear into their personal lives and lose all connection with the public, or they overshare everything and lose all sense of privacy and family. Kate and William have spent years trying to walk a third path. Be present. Be genuine. Be seen when it matters. But protect the kids, protect the family, protect the parts of life that no amount of royal duty should be allowed to consume. Is that a perfect balance? No. Does it frustrate people sometimes? Absolutely. But is it also deeply, fundamentally human? I think yes. And that rugby message, coming right out of their spring break, right out of their private family time, is actually a perfect example of that balance. It's not a formal announcement. It's not a press conference. It's just two parents who happen to be the future King and Queen of England saying, hey, we care about this sport, we support our teams, and yes, we are absolutely going to be trash-talking each other on April 25th. That's relatable. That's real. And in 2026, with everything going on in the world, real feels pretty good. But let me zoom out now, because as I always say on this channel, no royal story exists in isolation. There is always a bigger context. And right now, the context around William and Kate is more complex than it's been in years. This joint message comes amid a broader climate inside the royal family, one that includes King Charles's ongoing health concerns, the fallout from Prince Andrew's continued scandals, and the delicate dynamics between William and his estranged brother Harry. Let's talk about each of these because they matter. King Charles. The man is dealing with health issues that, by all accounts, are serious. William has increasingly stepped up to represent the crown at major international events, including attending the COP30 climate summit on his father's behalf. That's not a small thing. William is quietly, methodically transitioning into the role he was born for. And he's doing it while still trying to give his kids a normal childhood, support his wife through her cancer recovery, and manage the internal politics of a family that has more drama than most soap operas. Then there's the Andrew situation. Reports indicate that William actually reached out to his uncle Prince Andrew amid Andrew's health issues, a gesture that surprised some observers, given the level of scandal attached to Andrew's name. Geo. News that tells you something about William's character. Whatever his public positioning, whatever the palace politics, he's a man who doesn't completely abandon family, even complicated family, and Harry. I know. We can't do a royal video without Harry coming up. The rift between the brothers continues to define much of the public narrative around William and Kate, and every move they make is filtered through the lens of how it compares to, or contrasts with Harry and Meghan's choices, woman and home. There's a particularly poignant detail in the rugby patronage story. Kate took over the England rugby roles that were formerly held by Prince Harry. The news. Think about what that means. Symbolically, the roles Harry gave up when he stepped back from royal life, Kate stepped into them. She didn't just fill a gap, she made those roles her own, built her own connection with those teams, created her own identity within that space. That's a quiet form of resilience that doesn't always get the attention it deserves. And speaking of resilience, let me take a moment to talk about Kate specifically, because I think Americans sometimes underestimate just how much this woman has been through in the last 2 years. In early 2024, Kate announced she had been diagnosed with cancer. The news shocked the world. It came after months of speculation, conspiracy theories, and genuinely cruel social media content questioning her whereabouts and her health. The way the public, and particularly certain corners of the internet, handled Kate's illness was, honestly, not our finest hour as a society. In January 2025, Kate announced that her cancer was officially in remission. News. That announcement felt like a collective exhale for millions of people. People who had watched this woman grow from a shy university student into a princess, a mother, a public servant, people who had invested in her story, breathed again when she said she was clear. And what did she do with that second chance? She didn't disappear. She didn't retreat permanently into private life. She came back. Carefully, at her own pace, on her own terms. But she came back. She made a solo appearance at a women's rugby match in September 2025, showing her ongoing commitment to her patronages. Marie Claire. And yes, some people still criticized her for not attending every single event, every single match. There will always be critics. There will always be people who think a woman who just finished cancer treatment should be doing more public appearances. But here's what I see when I look at Kate in 2026. I see a woman who went through something terrifying, who came out the other side and who is now rebuilding her public role with intention and purpose. She's not racing back to prove anything. She's choosing what matters, when it matters. And that rugby message during spring break, that's Kate choosing to show up for something she loves, even when she's supposed to be resting, even when she's in family mode. Even when the whole point of Easter break is stepping away. That's not obligation. That's genuine love for what she does. Let me come back to the rugby rivalry for a moment because I think it's actually the most important part of this story. And not for the reasons you might think. Yes, it's cute. Yes, it's charming. Yes, the image of William and Kate trash-talking each other over England versus Wales is genuinely delightful. But think about what it represents at a deeper level. William and Kate moved to Forest Lodge on the Windsor Home Park estate with their 3 children in November 2025. A new chapter for the family, a new home, a new phase of their life together. Hello? They are building something. Not just a royal legacy, a life, a marriage, a family culture. And one of the things they seem to have built into that family culture is the ability to disagree, compete, and root for opposing teams, and laugh about it. In a family environment, in a marriage, in a partnership, that capacity for playful rivalry without it becoming genuine conflict, that's actually a sign of strength. That's a sign of security. For a couple that has faced the kind of external pressure William and Kate face, the media scrutiny, the family drama, the health crises, the global visibility, maintaining that lightness with each other is not accidental. It's intentional. It's work. It's the result of two people who have actively chosen, over and over again, to be on the same team even when they're technically supporting opposite ones. And I think that's why this message resonated. Not because it was big news, not because it changed anything, but because it reminded people that underneath the crowns and the titles and the protocols, there are two human beings who genuinely enjoy each other's company, who tease each other about sports, who take spring breaks with their kids, who care about women's rugby. That's the message that has America talking, not the official words, the feeling behind them. So where does all of this leave us? What does this moment tell us about William and Kate's trajectory heading into the second half of 2026 and beyond? A few things stand out to me. First, Kate is back, and she's here to stay. Royal experts have noted that William and Kate's parenting philosophy is extremely hands-on by royal standards. They want their children grounded in real life, not isolated in royal privilege. Fox News. But that philosophy has never meant abandoning their public roles. It's always been about balance. And Kate stepping out during spring break to post that rugby message shows she's found her equilibrium again. She's not hiding. She's not overextending. She's just present. Second, William is growing into his future role with real confidence. The days of the uncertain young prince, still figuring out who he is and what he stands for, feel genuinely behind him. He's doing major global work, representing the crown at climate summits, managing the transition of royal responsibilities as his father's health presents ongoing challenges. Fox News. And he's doing it quietly, without the kind of drama or public airing of grievances that has defined some other members of his family. Third, and this is the one that I think matters most for the long-term health of the British monarchy, William and Kate are popular in a way that feels earned rather than inherited. Americans in particular respond to them not because of their titles, but because of the way they carry those titles, with humility, with humor, with a visible commitment to each other and their children that doesn't feel performative. In a media landscape where everything is performative, where authenticity is manufactured and sold, the fact that a rugby rivalry between a married couple still feels genuinely real is remarkable. Okay, real talk section. This is where I give you my unfiltered take because that's what this channel is about. Do I think William and Kate are perfect? No. I don't think anyone is perfect. And I certainly don't think royal perfection is something worth aspiring to or celebrating. Do I think they face fair criticism sometimes? Yes. The questions about royal workload, about the balance between private family life and public duty, about how the monarchy justifies itself in 2026, these are legitimate questions that deserve honest answers. But here's what I genuinely believe, after covering this family for years. William and Kate represent the best realistic version of what the British monarchy can be in the modern era. Not a fairy tale, not a soap opera, a working partnership between two people who chose each other, who built a family together, who weathered enormous personal crises, and who are now, quietly, steadily, preparing to lead one of the world's most watched institutions into the future. That spring break message? On the surface, it's just a rugby post. But underneath it is a story about a couple that refuses to let their public roles consume their private humanity. That takes the work seriously without taking themselves too seriously. That can root for opposing rugby teams and still hold hands at the end of the day. And honestly, In 2026, that's a story worth telling. So, there you have it. Kate and William interrupting their spring break, delivering a message about women's rugby and a friendly rivalry that has, whether by design or by pure human charm, reminded the world why these two people matter, not because of their crowns, not because of their palace, but because of who they are when the cameras aren't supposed to be watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, thank you. Genuinely, it means a lot that you spend your time here. Drop a comment below and tell me, Team William, Team Wales, or Team Kate, Team England? Who are you rooting for on April 25th? I want to know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. We do deep dives like this every week, and I promise you, we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves.